This European Cricket Network event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software and Paramatch.
Hello and welcome to the Estadio Municipal de Miranda de Corvo, just outside Coimbra in Portugal. Night Series action is back for another night, but only tonight and tomorrow before we find our champion of the European Cricket Series at night here in Portugal. So 2 matches coming up tonight, following on from the long, hot day there in Cyprus, as we saw Group A coming to its conclusion there. But tonight, we've got a pretty big clash between the two teams that top their groups during the group stage of this tournament. It's going to be Punjab CC Amadora taking on Oeiras in match 9 of the Super 5 tonight. It's a big clash, it's a big coin toss. Let's see what happened when Shub had the two captains for the flip.
Your call. Tails. Tails is the call. Tail it is. We're going to bat first. Oeiras won the toss and they will have a bat first.
That was the DJ, Girish Singh, that was filling in at the toss, and he won it for the Oeiras Swans and has decided to have a bat first. You can understand that. I think Oeiras, they like to put big runs on the board. Punjab CC Amadora, though, they showed they can pull off a big chase last night, and they actually pulled off the biggest chase of the series. More about that in a moment. But these are the two sides. Imran in there. Still no Rana Sawa, though, for Punjab CC Amadora. Got to say that they had a few contributors last night, but the captain in particular, his 77, was instrumental. And Muzammil Abbas, what a moment from him, putting his team over the line, hitting a maximo of the only ball he faced. Whereas, well, they've listed Conrad Greenshields down at 10. Don't know about that. I think we're likely to see the captain in the top 3. Imran Khan, I think, would open for them with Azim Sawa, Greenshields at 3. I don't know what they're doing in their order there on the screen, but I think that could pretty much pull that one out of a hat. But I will say that whereas they're kind of in prime position to finish top of the group. Now, whoever's top at the end of tonight, they go automatically through to the final tomorrow. Whoever's second and third, they do get to play tomorrow night on finals night, but they have to go through the qualifier. Now, Punjab CC Amadora are the only team that can knock Oeiras off the top of the ladder. Now, to do that, probably they'd have to take all 4 points in this game. Not necessarily. But yeah, I think that if Oeiras get a point out of this, at least they should be safe in top spot. There are a few different permutations that can happen. 70-30, the Swans favourites in this one. These are some of the upcoming events coming to the conclusion of Portugal. And Cyprus, still a little bit of time to go there, over a week, in fact, almost 2 weeks if you include the men's and women's T20s that will be taking place there. Yeah, we're really lucky to have some T20s on the network as well, both men's and women's. We have T20s for 3 days at the end of Cyprus, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we actually have the CE Cup, so T20s in Prague for the 3 days before the ECS Czechia begins. So some bonus action for you there. Down the bottom of the screen, you also see have a bit of a summer weekend in the sun in Croatia as well. This is what's coming up in Group B. Telugu 11 and Al Fateh, as well as Kipro Tigers Limassol, all playing their first matches ever in ECS cricket tomorrow. Sherry Punjab, we saw them take part earlier today. Had an interesting start to their career, put it that way. Some goings on there in Cyprus. Nish doing a great job in the sun. Jared Newton with a little bit of a cameo on the commentary, I noticed today as well. But here we go. We're ready for play to begin here. Punjab CC Amadora probably not minding the fact they're fielding first. I don't think it probably mattered to them too much. But I think this could be a spicy contest. A lot of people saying this might be the match of the Super 5 so far. Oeiras just need to get the job done to get in that top position. They've done the heavy lifting. They've been really good on the 4-pointers. Just missed out on a 4-pointer last time out. And that's why they're still not a done deal for that top spot. But they're certainly in the best position. Punjab CC Amadora, they did lose their first game of the Super 5s. That's why they need to make it up by toppling Oeiras here. Here we go with Bikram, start of the night. First one swings a long way, swings past the keeper, but we've got the backstop in place there. So we're going to have a bye to get the night going. Hello to all of our viewers as well in the chat, ECN European Cricket Network. I know a lot have been with us for the whole day. I was lurking a little bit, popped in now and then during the Cyprus series today. Rico having a well-earned break. Nish out in the heat, well over 40 degrees again today. Hello to Trip, who's watching from the USA. Hello to Marvin as well. Hello to Dave B. Chris Smith in there, I see as well. Imran Khan faces up for the first time. In the air, could be gone. Is gone. Yeah, slight fumble from Muzamal Abbas, but Muzi is having a pretty good week. He hit the winning runs last time out, and just 2 balls of play later, he gets Imran for a duck. Imran forcing off the back foot, angling in slightly from Bikram. Catching so important. That one does get held. And Punjab CC getting an important hitter early. It is 1 for 1. Just a slight bobble there, but did the job in the end. Yeah, hello to everyone. Feel free to drop in a comment. ECN European Cricket Network. It's always great when we do get that interaction with the fans. Beautiful weather conditions here, I've got to say as well. Another sparkling day in this region of Portugal. 26 degrees for the first ball. Maximum today was 28, but it's kind of heading on the way back down now. But a nice balmy summer's afternoon on the Iberian Peninsula. Conrad Greenshields then comes out after only 2 balls bowled. First one's a wild one that he gets, and it will be called wide. I often think Conrad should open. I've said that a few times. He did when he scored his huge 148 not out. At the time, that was the 5th highest score in ECN. I just think that he's the kind of guy, he'll hit a few over the top in the power play that may not go for 6, but there's less likely to be an outfielder there. Well, there we go. That's probably going to be wides. Yeah, it will be. Oh, well, that'll wake you up. Bikram gets one to rise off a length. He's saying, hey, how's that happening? But he should know by now. He's played enough games on this surface that it does bounce more than you think. It's been an interesting replay because it really does take off, and the keeper had no chance. It was still going up when it went past Saqib Yunus. 5 bonus runs to the Swans. And that's why I know the players don't particularly enjoy maybe batting on this, but the spectators love watching it. Nice straight drive, comes off the foot, has to hustle. Fumbled by Muzamal Abbas as Greenshields gets off the mark. How's that for the whacker-like properties of this? Although the whacker at least was consistent bounce here, you do get the odd shooter, we know that. Decides to leave this one alone, gets called wide. They're going to have to hustle. They'll get in the end. Interesting this call. Maybe we can see it from the main camera, but yeah, it was probably a harsh wide call. Just eyeballing it from my position. Let's have a look. Well, we don't see it. Makes it fairly comfortably in the end. Down leg side, slightly off at the moment. So 1 wicket, obviously not in the plans for Waris, but they certainly can recover from that. Punjab CC Amadora, like I said, slow start to their Super 5s campaign, but they can turn it around here. What a way to do it if they can knock over Waris, who are not beaten in this tournament so far. Greenshields gets careful on this one. He'll get through for a single. It's quite a long first over here to start the night. Better areas that time from Bikram. Seems to be getting back on track. Has to do with the left-hand, right-hand combination here, of course. A bit of chat out there, as you'd expect. Hopefully, Dave B, you're well. Nice to have you with us, as always. I know you had some pretty insightful questions for Jared Newton when he was in the in the commentary box today. Part of our Blue crew and also Croatian skipper, though he's out injured at the moment. Hit on the up, and that'll go for 4. Gets enough of it, so Bikram's over ends up costing 16, though he does get the wicket of Imran Khan without scoring. And at the end of the first, it's 17 for 1. Obviously plenty of World Cup action today as well. Pakistan taking on the hosts at the moment, the United States, which certainly is an interesting game to keep track of. Australia had a good win overnight against Oman, but yeah, Oman put up a good showing there. And plenty of action over the next 24 hours in that tournament as well. Saeed Ali Naki to bowl. Punjab CC really seemed to pull one out of the fire last night against Fighters. They were late to arrive in this stage, although they did play on the early stages, but they have the last 3 matches back to back to back, essentially. One last night and both of them tonight to finish their Super 5 campaign. They're playing a little bit of catch-up. Oh, he's bowled him. What a very good delivery from Saeed Ali Naki. It's just got away a little bit from Sawa and he gets castled. Very good bowling. And for all the bounce in this pitch, I think some of the bowlers have done the most damage when they've pitched the ball up. So Sawa just couldn't account for that last bit of movement. And so Saeed Ali Naki breaks through and both openers back in the shed within the first 7 balls of the evening. The score's 18 for 2. Excellent, excellent bowling there from Saeed. Plenty to think about at the moment for the Swans. Just caught on the hop a little bit. Gurjit Singh comes to the crease. Another very good hitter. Punjab CC buoyed by that an early success. Gurjit faces up. No ball called. Must have overstepped. Early call and also fumbled. Will they try for 2? They won't, even with the added lure of the free hit to face. I'm sure he heard the call of no ball there. Just a little bit of indiscipline creeping in. So that one will have to be bowled again. Free hit to come. Green Shields will certainly take it. And he does launch it high into the sky. Maximo! That's a big strike from the skipper. And just had no fear there, nor should he. As that one disappears into the yonder. Conrad, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing comes out early, okay? Like everyone, he's a bit suspect on this pitch, but he's not alone there. Now whips this nicely. That'll get through the field, and that's 4 more. Imposing stuff from Conrad Greenshield. 6 and 4. He is hungry for more, and he's hungry to get Awaris the point that they would need to be safe. And just having a good look at this table before we got going. So Awaris are 7 points up, right? Don't think so. A little bit high, maybe straighten down the line of touch. So they're 7 points up on Punjab CC Amadora, but with this match, if it's a 3-1 win, okay, they'll close the gap, but they'll only close the gap to 5. So their only real chance is to win this game with 4 points to 0, and that would close the gap to 3. Now, with a 3-point gap, well, they can pick up 3 or 4 points when Punjab CC Amadora play later on against the Lisbon Supergiants. Beautiful shot. Beautifully stroked through the covers by Greenshields, who's raced to 20 off just 7 balls. Just kind of over those first few balls. I suppose all batters are a little bit at risk. But he drove that one very nicely. You can understand Syed Ali Naki going full again. Last ball, the over coming up. Just didn't feel right there. Syed Ali Naki, bit like Bikram bowled the first over, has got a wicket, but he's also conceded quite a few. Block hole delivery and blocked down the field by Conrad Greenshields. That's the end of the second over, and it's 35 for 2. So 17 come off the first over, 18 come off the second, though. Whereas lose an opener in each of those first 2 overs. What an interesting start to the evening. Let's have a look at the table then, and I mentioned the top 3 will go through to the finals tomorrow. Now, huge night. Lisbon Capitals are in the 3, but they're at risk, and their main risk will come in the form of the Lisbon Supergiants. If they're able to pull off a win against Punjab CC Amadora later, then Lisbon Capitals, they'll be out of the tournament. So again, they've got some watching to do, don't they, the Caps? Whereas, like I said, the 7 points up, and with even a point here, they guarantee automatic qualification for the final tomorrow night. Oh, nice shot. Just throws the hands at this. Little jab shot. That'll be 4. Greenshields looking on so far, rides the bounce. Bikram being brought back for a second over. Interesting, because he did go for a few in that first over, but they obviously feel he's got that kind of, that X factor. He might be able to bring the wicket about, and that's what they need at the moment. We'll change the field. I think they'll put another man back where that went, so a bit of chasing the ball there. That long off comes up in their circle, but that just means Conrad can go down the ground if it's pitched up with a bit more confidence. It's off the shoulder, I think. Conrad's very experienced. He drops the gloves here. But how quick is he to rub his chest? Just to make sure that everybody knows this doesn't hit his gloves. Have a look on the replay. So look how it's a kind of experience to drop the gloves. Almost a test match style batting from Conrad Greenshields there. It won't be a bouncer either. Now, backs away and misses. They had 2 fielders kind of guarding against a thick outside edge, or a thin outsider edge. And went to try and go over cover there. No ball called again from Bikram. I'll get a single, so now Conrad gives away a free hit here for Gurjeet by taking the single, but still, nice chance for Gurjeet to get going. And once again, Bikram overstepping those big strides. Does have a little bit of a slide on his front foot, but yeah, umpire not believing there was anything behind the line at the moment that front foot landed. Back to live action then. And the free hit's pitched up. Yeah, might cause a run out here, but the throw bounce is way too high. Busy start this from the Swans. Yeah, a lot of people said they've been looking forward to watching this match for a while when they saw the fixtures coming out. Whereas finishing their Super 5 campaign tonight, I mean, they would have played 12 matches in the tournament. And we'll play a 13th tomorrow night if they can secure a top spot and a spot in the final. Steps back slightly, loses a bit of weight, a little bit of oomph in the shot. He does get a single down the ground at the end of the power play. Probably can't come quick enough for Punjab CC Amador at the moment. That ability just to protect those boundaries a little bit better. This field here in Miranda de Cordova, former football field, so the sideways boundaries, the square boundaries, are very, very short, even by ECN standards. Down the ground boundaries, pretty much regulation, 50 metres. Last ball of the third, last ball for Bikram. Throws the hands at this and gets sliced away into the grandstand. Maximo! And Gurjeet does get going with the 6 runs as Bikram will finish with 1 for 30 off his 2 overs at the end of the power play. Oeris, after winning the toss and electing to bat in Super 5 match 9, they're 49 for 2. (17, 18, 14). The 3 overs in the power play. Pretty healthy one that for Oeris. They do lose both openers in there. Saeed Ali Naki comes back. Now this time, is there a little touch on it? Oh, well, umpire thinks no. Let's have a look at this one nice and slow. I've got to say, this time it didn't seem like he dropped his gloves quite enough for me. Was it just off that back arm or was it the glove? It's very hard to see. Very, very hard to see. May have come off the arm, may have come off the gloves. This might show a little bit better. What do we see here? Oh, he actually takes his hand off the bat. So, you know what? From that side on replay, it's very hard to tell, be definitive, but may have actually hit his glove that wasn't holding the bat anymore. Now, if that's the case, it's actually not out either. Also, I mean, Conrad, he's a poker player from way back. He'll just act like it's not out no matter what, but looked for that second replay, like it may have hit the arm or the hand that wasn't holding the bat. $50's come up for Oeris now. Yeah, binge watcher saying maybe a couple of tight no ball calls. What I will say though, the umpire's got to call it in real time. And, you know, it's great that we've got the benefit of the slow-mo, but I mean, it's up to the bowlers, I think, to not give the umpire the opportunity to call. They shouldn't be pushing the line by that much. He's able to matrix his way out of the way, and this will be called a wide. Gurjeet having to bend the laws of space-time there to get himself out the way. It's a good contest so far. These two teams haven't let us down. Again this time, a bit easier to get out of the way for Gurjeet. Hello to Phil G, who I know is lurking from Prague. Goes after this, gets plenty of it. There's a bit Happy Gilmore on this one, does Gurjeet. He just lifts it up over long on Maximo. He can hit sixes all over the ground, Gurjeet, we know that. And that was over long on's head by some distance. Gurjeet's a guy ordinarily can bat anywhere in the order, really. Oh, we have seen play for the Coimbra Knights previously, so he knows the ground very well. He backs away from this one, feels that, and almost nicks it. Last ball of the 4th over coming up. Oh, he couldn't get out of the way of that one. Now for the end of the 4th over. Don't rub it, it'll hurt more. It's 58 for 2 at the end of 4. You can see where he's getting himself into a bit of a muddle sometimes there, Gurjeet. You don't want to back away on this pitch. You're just going to back yourself into some trouble. Rather be in a position to kind of move towards the offside, get inside the line of the ball. You'd be getting wide for all those ones fairly easily. $58 for 2 then at the end of the 4th over. Getting going again with the 5th. And Parveen Singh gets the ball. Again, he's a dangerous left arm option. They've got plenty of bowling. Punjab CC Amadora. Like I said, no Ranasawa in the lineup, but still plenty of good players up and down the order. In the air, but not going to carry. And proper Tortuga job there. He will be incredulous. Adnan Ali watches that one. It skips to the left, it skips to the right, it skips to the boundary for the Swans. 4 runs. It's probably not the kind of field you want to attack at all if the ball's hit hard. You just want to kind of stay flat-footed and have as much time as possible to see the ball. That one ate him up. Now he goes walking again and sends it high over the leg side. Maximo Saints-Mars. Well, if that was only one, then he wouldn't have been on strike, but he was on strike, and he puts the next ball over the fence. Kuji 24 off 9. Off to a cracking start. No ball called. Dropped by the keeper. Wouldn't have mattered. Let's have a look at the feet here of Parveen. Just persistent problems at the moment. These are extra runs. They're extra balls you have to bowl as well. Let's have a look. It'll be a no ball plus 1 run. Free hit coming up. I wonder which foot it was for. So obviously one of the feet. Maybe we can see it one more time. Maybe not. I think it was a back foot no ball looking at that, because even that was pretty close. Free hit isn't really put away. I feel like it was more likely for a back foot. So that's a law I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, keep an eye on this back foot when Parveen bowls. He's just inside that time. It's a bit wide. Misses the leg stump. Able again to get inside him. He's having trouble. He's got that natural trigger to back away slightly. Probably something he can work on. Just kind of holding his balance a little bit more. That's a no ball. It's got to be. Let's have a look at a replay of this one. You'll see he's definitely getting too wide. Some of them these are close. I think Croot's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this foot definitely intersects the sideline. And so he's going to have to bowl this one again, Parveen. Free hit. Cannot think of a shot here. Needs to get inside it. If ever you never have to worry about getting bowled, it's a free hit. Just jump inside and get in position. But I don't think I've ever seen a free hit left alone like that, although he was just kind of wishing it wasn't going to hit him. Now he does. It's not a free hit anymore. He was just getting some of the line, so it won't be a wide. Interesting over. End of the 5th. 16 in total of that one. And the score is 74 for 2 after 5 overs. Green Shields 30 off 17. Overshadowed to an extent by the recent exploits of Gurjit Singh. Not a real spin attack either. It's all seam up you're going to get from Punjab CC. Gurjit gets the ball. Green Shields hits up in the air, capped under it, and caught. And so Gurjit gets some success with his first delivery. Green Shields tries to go downtown, gets stuck uptown. He's the third to fall. Big moment in this first innings as the skipper departs, makes a start again. Can't get out of the 30s. 30 exactly tonight. Well taken by Adnan Ali, going to his left. And Awaris are 34 for 3. Well, I know a lot of people are tuning in for the Gurjit versus Gurjit battle. But you're going to have to wait because Gurjit Singh, the batter, is at the non-striker's end. Girish Singh, the DJ, comes out at number 5. Nice catch there. Adnan had plenty of work to do. Girish, compact, kind of semi-defence, knocks it down the ground for a single. Next one is a big swing and a miss. Geez, if you can get Gurjit now. And you might just be able to open him up a little bit. He goes on a wild charge and attempted hoik. And doesn't make any connection. Some interesting footwork choices so far. It's good length. Really good length. Gurjit just needs to kind of start playing cricket again. And he's getting a little bit carried away, premeditating and trying to hit certain shots. See here, he's already made up his mind where he wants to hit this. Anyway, it does survive. Last ball of the over. Yeah, well, that time it was in the slot for it and it's going to disappear. Anios Pelota, Maximo to finish the 6th. And Gurjit had only gone for a single in that over. Still a very good one. He'll go for 7 in the end. 81 for 3 after 6. Yes, and as noted, we had the 2 G Singhs batting and the G Singh bowling there. Now we had Gurjit, Girish batting and Gurjit bowling. You got the trifecta there. Parveen comes back to bowl out. And it's going to start with a wicket. It's a flash outside the off stump, a little bit of extra bounce, and Girish is going to have to go. Fumbled initially by Saqib Yunus behind the stumps, but luckily it went up. And he was able to recompose himself and hold on to the catch. Clipped away. And just a single. Upside alarm comes in. Oh, it's a pretty good stop by Eunice. Had to change direction quickly and knock down. Nice acrobatic bit of work from Saki behind the stumps. Slow ball. Kind of ties him up. Gurjit's gone off the boil a bit, hasn't he? Got to give credit to Punjab. They're hanging in there, aren't they? They chased down that monster total last night. Yeah, they're able to chase 143. Did it with 2 balls remaining in the end. Pushed away. And think of a second with a slight fumble. They think against it at this stage. Parveen, 1 for 18 to bowl his last delivery. Goes short, and that'll be the one for the over. Hadn't used it yet, so that's the end of 7 overs, and the score is 83 for 4. Parveen, pretty good figures. Like, it's one thing he's going to have to watch, isn't it? The more high-level cricket he plays, making sure he doesn't give away those unnecessary back foot no balls. He's not the only one. We know Rahul from Fighters is a bit of a culprit with that as well. So here's over number 8. We say it all happens in the 9th. Well, here's the 8th. It'll be a bit of a preview. Remember, West just need to secure a point in this game to guarantee qualification. All right, well, that's high in the air. No ball called, and it was for a 6th outfielder. Square leg wasn't in the circle, so that's going to be a no ball +6 plus another delivery to come, another free hit to come. Punjab CC, they've played some good cricket, but also they've shot themselves in the foot. And yeah, Croot's right on the edge of the circle. And so the fielder's trying to say, hey, but I was there. But I don't think he was, because Croot pointed to him and he's still outside. Yeah. Well, that's the rules. Went enough in the circle. So free hit coming up for Gurjit. Also blast that one for 6. Tell you who's not thrilled with that is Gurjit, who has to bowl it. Still a few complaints, but I don't see them changing that at all. You can change the field now. In fact, you kind of have to because he was outside the circle. But anyway, free hit. Oh, yikes. That's going to run away. It's going to be 5 wides, and it means that the next one's going to still be a free hit. Wow. I had the kind of pseudo backstop there, but even he couldn't get to it. Still a free hit then for Gurjit. There's just been a few of these lapses, I'd call them, from Punjab CC. Now another wide, so there's 6 free runs. Still a free hit. We've seen a bit of a trend, haven't we, of bowlers having really tight first overs. Remember, Gurjit only went 1 for 1 in his first 5 balls. Since then, He's bowled 2 legal deliveries, and he's gone for 19. It's a free hit, remember. So just needs to block it. He does. Coming back for 2. It's a tight one. And they get there in the end. It's a despairing dive from Absa Alam. Maybe we can see this one on the replay. It's pretty good improvisational work to get it onto the stumps. See if we can get it really slow. Direct would have been out. He's just in. And then the batter takes out the stumps as well. Pretty good recovery, good fielding. Had to be direct, though, which isn't easy from that distance, especially with so many balls bouncing over bail height. I want 2 here again. They want to put pressure on the fielder. It's a nice clean pick up. Whereas I'm for 131 here. Wow, that's 6, but is it too high? Maybe, maybe not. I guess it was chest high, but this is pretty close to over the shoulder. Maybe side on will show this. That's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, isn't that a bouncer? I've just hooked that for 6. It's got to be a bouncer, he says, but was it? I think it's around shoulder height. It's really very close. Maybe camera 3 will give us a good look at this. But on the field, they seemed happy enough that it wasn't over the shoulder. So I don't want to use the term lucky because he's got hit over the road, but I suppose lucky it wasn't a no-hit. Anyway, this is hanging in the air, leading edge. This is 6 more. Maximo. This over's gone magical by some distance now, because that's 28 off the over. And if you want to go on the last 6 legal balls he's bowled, he's gone supersonic. He's gone for 34, and that's after only 1 run came off his first 5 balls. Gurjit Singh. And he'll finish with a wicket. So he started with a wicket, he finishes with a wicket, but there was a bit of carnage in between. Alam will go 6-6 and out. Eventually he makes the adjustment with the length. Have a look at it here. Almost Yorks himself, doesn't he? Kept a bit low, not that it would have mattered. He's a long way outside the line of that ball. Backing away to leg. So 6-6 and out to finish the 8th over. 111 for 5. Well, I said at the start of the 8th, normally all happens in the 9th, but maybe that was a bit of a preview. Well, it all happened in the 8th, didn't it? Look at the length here. Probably bounces just in front of his front foot, even with the charge. So Gurjit will face up, start of the 9th. Here's Lovepreet Singh. Also had a pretty eventful time here in the Super Fives. Well, gets a piece of it, but not the whole thing. First up. That's good early pickup. I like the strategy here. Run hard. Don't just settle for 1, but run hard. And if there's a fumble, then just go for 2. It's the kind of field where you can do that. Obviously not so easy getting the retrieving throws from the outfield either. Flicked away. Short boundary. Taj Muhammad goes bang. Maximo. First ball he faces. He's not really a recognised bat, Taj, but he's showing that he can hold the willow. It's a little bit of a flick away. Hafiz gets a cuddle and a bit of free advice from the captain, Rao Imran. Whereas really enjoyed that. You know, when you get guys out there that don't often get a bat, the team's pretty happy to see them have some success. Around the wicket. I think Taj will probably try the same thing again. He does. This one's going to Tortuga. It's actually brilliant fielding down there from Simran. Kind of predicted which way it would bounce, that it was going to bounce towards him, and he was exactly right. Very good fielding. Very good anticipation. Could have easily gone for 4. Sheet 42. In the air and gone. So Kujic won't make his 50 in the end. Just fighting the angle a bit there, wasn't he? And Imran does the job. Makes it look easy. 119 for 6 then. Pretty entertaining first innings of the day. There's plenty to come tonight, of course. 2 matches. New batter comes to the crease over into Kumar. 2 to come in the 9th. The first one's not going too far. Just out of the grasp. I think he actually crashed into Taj Muhammad, or at least there was some contact. But it was an accidental obstruction from Taj. And the apologies going both ways. I see here they just come together, and that actually, I think, keeps the bowler from having a play on that ball. Taj to face the last ball of the 9th. And he's going to hit it so high and so, well, close to the rope. It's going to be dropped, and it's going to be 4 runs. Well, I was about to say so high and so long, but really it was only so high. It was right off the middle. In the end, here's a look at what happened. One of the longer pockets of the ground bounces off the hands just inside the rope and over. So 4 runs to finish the over. That was a real rainmaker, wasn't it, from Taj Muhammad? End of the 9th, 124 for 6. Lovepreet. There's a classic, all happens in the 9th himself, doesn't he? Does take a wicket, goes for 13 in the end. Might have had 2 for 9. Wasn't to be. Adnan Ali is going to bowl the last over. His only over of this innings. He gets full and gets swatted away. Maximo Ravinda into the action. Whereas kicking in the tail and showing why they are so dangerous in this format, especially with some of the players they've got on loan. That one comfortably over the ropes. 130 up. Down the ground. It's going to be a pretty interesting second half because, I mean, in theory, Punjab would want to win in 7 overs, but at what point do you just kind of not worry about that and make sure that you just try and get the win, essentially. Shore up your position on the table. Flicked away again. They're looking for 2. Might have got it. Fielder scrambling around out there. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Okay, if you don't finish first, your next best is second. There is some rain actually perhaps around tomorrow night. So then second becomes more important than third, because if there's a rain out, then obviously if you're second, you win that 2 versus 3 match. Shot. Really good shot from Ravi. He just picks it up out of the slot. And that one is on the roof. Maximo. Geez, that's a powerful strike, loaded up. And let me remind you, this guy came out at number 8. Brilliant elevation there. Hard to believe this guy, Ravi, only scored 1 run on the network before this. This is going to be a thick edge flying away just out of the grasp. It's going to be 6 more. Maximo, and into the 140s now, whereas have been riding the mechanical ball all through this innings. There's been wickets, but they've always been aggressive in getting on with the game. Fortune favours the brave. Simran's a perfect guy to field down there, but even he can't do anything about it. Another Maximo would bring up the 150 for the Swans. Last ball. Oh, it's going to be off the end of the bat. They'll take 1. I think a 2. They're going to hold their crease. It should be a simple one. It will be. But I still don't mind them trying that. He's just out. But I love the fact that he really tries to sneak up behind him here and almost gets home. Love that. Look at that. He says, all right. He went a little like need to take his shoes off, put his socks on, and hope that Adnan didn't hear him coming, but it's going to be 1 and out. So I like that unselfishness as well, to at least try to squeeze any possibility of an extra run out of the innings. There's nothing to lose there. So it'll be 145 for 7 in the end. Whereas with that entertaining first 10 overs of the day, I think when you look at it, the fact that there were so many no balls bowled, we had 5 no balls and we had 10 wide deliveries bowled. So an extra 2.5 overs bowled. I think actually it's the difference between them chasing kind of 120s and 140s, which is where they find themselves now, especially they would have wanted to do it in the 7 overs, which now looks a little bit beyond them, even with their strong batting lineup. 42 to Gurjeet leads the scoring off just 26 balls, 5 Maximos and a 4 in there, 30 for Conrad Greenshields. Apart from that, got to say I like the little cameos there. Ravinder Kumar with 21 off just 6, coming in at 8. Taj Muhammad also showed that he can clear the ropes, had a 6 and a 4 in his 12, 13 for Absar Alam. Everyone else missing out that did get a hit, but have a look at those 25 extras. Like I said, I think that's 15 to 20 too many for a team as good as Punjab CC Amadora. Bowling-wise, a lot of the bowlers kind of had one good over and one where things got out of hand. Parveen, 1 for 18, gets the figures, but again, occasionally running into problems with that sideline. 2 wickets to Gurjeet, though he was expensive in the middle of them. He bookended his spell with wickets. Also wickets to Bikramjit Singh and Syed Ali Naki, who removed the openers, and Lovepreet got one late in the piece. Adnan went magical in the last, and that's why Punjab CC Amadora are chasing 146 for victory. So it's a handful more than they chased last night. It's not beyond them. It should be a pretty exciting second innings. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo, for the European Cricket Network. We'll take a quick break and back very, very soon with more European Cricket Series at night.
This European Cricket Network event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software and Paramatch.
Hello and welcome back to the Estadio Municipal de Miranda de Córdoba for the second half of this match. Big match in match 9 between Oeiras, the Swans, and Punjab CC Amadora. More about that in a second, but I can tell you right now we're 23 matches since a golden ball. It wasn't too long ago we had that golden ball. It was just in Cyprus between the Napa Kings and the Royal CC. I have a bit of history between those two teams as well. They did combine to make an ECS team. Here's some of the numbers out of this night's series. We're over 9,000 runs now. And we'll get pretty close to 10,000 in the end. 10.8 runs and overs the average. Interesting also that the Maximo rate, not quite 1 and over, 8.2 sixes per 10 overs. We have had more sixes than fours. This is what's coming up tomorrow. Can't fill any more than that in at the moment. Now, whereas, as long as they can keep their point here, they'll be first, and then it's kind of a battle for second and third with Punjab CC Amadora as well as Lisbon Capitals and Lisbon Supergiants all in the frame. The only team that we can kind of definitively rule out at the moment is the Fighters, who have finished their games and don't have enough points to qualify. But, you know, this is also big because if Oeiras can stop Punjab CC getting a point, then potentially if Lisbon Supergiants beat them and beat them well later on, then Punjab CC Amadora might be out. So anything's possible here. Anything's possible. Punjab CC Amadora, I think getting the point's pretty important. Work out what the total is for the point. Anyway, shake, rattle and roll. Junaid gets the first over. Wild swing. Arshad does this to these kind of balls outside the off stump. Yeah, so Punjab CC Amadora need 102 to at least guarantee themselves a point out of this contest. And just bear that in mind. Well, that's better. You see, he just times this one more than a wild swipe. And that's Maximal Seis Carreras. Big shot. Rashad off to the races. This is where, like I said, even a point kind of guarantees Punjab CC Amadora a spot at the table in the 3. Lisbon Capitals, I'll be ideally hoping that Oeiras can take all the points here. Gives them a bit more of a chance. And then Lisbon Supergiants, they could actually get out of 5th place and get up into the 3 with a win over Punjab CC Amadora. And I think that'll be the case no matter what, because they'll at least jump over the Caps, who have 8 points. Lisbon Supergiants currently with 6, so 3 for a win will put them up to 9 and put them in the mix. Off the end of the bat, goes quickly. Pretty well blocked there. Just kick that to a single. Ground fielding, not particularly easy, we know that. These conditions. Yeah, Lisbon Capitals, they're on 8 points, same as Punjab CC Amadora currently. Lisbon Supergiants were 6 behind, but don't forget, the Lisbon Supergiants edged out the Capitals by 0.008 of a point of net run rate, in which case the actual point totals will be reversed because Capitals didn't take any points by finishing 3rd. Lisbon Supergiants took 2 points into this phase by finishing in 2nd spot. Turned around the corner. Overrun by Nupane, but no real dramas there. Just a single. Junaid has a very good record of taking wickets in first overs. This first over stays alive. Bit of outswing there for Junaid. He's like a natural in-swing bowler, but he does get the odd one to go away. Tripp saying that he'll miss this evening series. It's provided great entertainment. Thanks to everyone involved for making it a great series. Well, Tripp, I know you love it, especially with your time zone. We'll try and do some more from time to time. It's not always easy with the amount of cricket we got on, but obviously we love bringing it to you. Well, lifted up and out of the ground. Well picked up by Usher. That's more his zone. Puts it over the fence. Maximal and into the first over. It is 15 without loss. And you do not count out Punjab GC Amadora in this chase. We saw them pull off a remarkable chase last night in these conditions. They're able to chase 143 against the Fighters, doing it with two balls to spare. One of the best games of the tournament, really, I think. Had upset, had downs, had turnarounds. But now they're chasing even more. They finished on 146, as it would be last night, finishing with 6. That's exactly what they have to do against this Irish bowling attack. Absar Alam is going to bowl over number 2 here. So they get what they need out of that first over. Rao Imran faces up. Well, he gets one that keeps low, and he's gone. Just seen back a bit, and poor Imran, he's probably wondering what's happened. I think this is bent back leg. To be honest, it didn't seem that high to me. Stayed low. Let's have a look. That's out. That's out. He's trying to say it's hit him high, but there's no way that's going over the top of the stumps. And so disappointment for Imran. Maybe we can have a look at it one more time. But unfortunately, I think that's a pretty easy call for the umpire. I know there were a couple in the first innings that seemed to go against Punjab CC that were, again, I think they were right decisions, but sometimes you just feel everything's going away from you. Simran comes out at number 3. But, you know, you're always expecting it to bounce a bit more. This one stays low. And that's probably hitting the stumps 3/4 of the way up. I can see Imran saying, hey, but it hit me high, but he had that back leg bent, and so it actually didn't hit him too far above the knee at all. Just seemed like the next sound you would have heard if he wasn't there was the stumps cartwheeling out of the ground. Anyway, Simran is going to face up for the first time. He could use some runs. Here's one that cuts straight through him. This is a pretty decent opening spell from Absar Alam at the moment. Yeah, cut him in half that time. I think we're unlucky not to get a little touch on it. Muscles this away. Well, pick up and throw might have been interesting. They go to the keeper's end. They'll have to work hard, but they do get the single there. Arshad. Whacked a couple out of the ground already. Wow, that goes very wrong. It's pretty well blocked. Connor Greenshaw's behind the stump. Spin, no ball. And so a free hit coming up. Maybe attempted Yorker, gone very wrong. Halfway through this power play. Very good slow ball. Does Greenshields, though, gets a piece of it. Go through him for a bite. Kind of cloudy conditions. Like I said, there's some talk that there might be a bit of a storm around tomorrow night. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with proceedings. It can hold off just long enough. They said it might hit around about, I suppose, about halfway through the first game or towards the end of the first game tomorrow. Hopefully it's not an issue. Throws this one a bit wider, but it will be called. Doesn't like it. Maybe we can see that one more time. Remember, the line belongs to the bowler now. So I still think a lot of the time the umpires are being a little bit harsh. The idea was to give them a bit more leeway. Fraction short, top edge, in the air, catchable, dropped. It wasn't an easy one at all. Just backing back, stayed face to the ball there. Yeah, tough one, but has to go down as a chance. Watch it on the replay thanks to our partners. Ended up backing back too far, didn't he? Rashad faces up. Alarm, last ball of his over. And he's bowled him. Well, there you go. Funny how things work out in the end, because the previous ball was caught. It meant Arshad wouldn't have been on strike, but he was. Dances down the track. He misses a straight one. Over goes the castle. Upstart bookends is over with wickets, and just the 5 runs in between, so at the end of 2 overs, it's 20 for 2. One door stays open, and I think it's slammed shut on Punjab CC Amadora. Taj Muhammad is going to bowl over number 3, so it's not going to get much easier. Big thing is, can he control what he's doing? He's quick. He's got that natural gift of pace, doesn't he, Taj Muhammad? He's over number 3. Bowling to Simranjit Singh. First one, another top edge, another hanger. This time it's caught. Well, that's a brilliant bit of fielding, really. Never easy getting under the high ball after you've just put one down. And that's Arnav Kamboj, I think, the young off-spinner. It is. He's still there. This time he'll hold on to the catch, and that one will really get Awarash. So it's almost a carbon copy of what Simran did the ball before. Taj Muhammad breaks through with the wicket first up. And Punjab CC Amadora on the ropes, 20 for 3. What a great catch. I mean, he had practiced the ball before, didn't he? Young Arnav Kamboj. Actually, I'd like to see him get a bit of a bowl here. Maybe we'll see what happens in the game situation, but I think he's a really good young talent. Natural off-spinner. Whereas, sense they might be able to roll through them here, I think. It won't be so easy against this lineup. Adnan Ali comes into bat. Oh, the first one takes off. Well taken by Greenshields. That'll be... Well, just going to call it a wide. Interesting. I think in the end, maybe we can see some side on, but there's some kind of difference of opinion between the umpires here. I think in the end, Crute feels this is over the head. And Bucks at square thought maybe he was ducking, but in the end, Crute says, yeah, well, I believe that's over the head, so we're going to call that one a wide. Really took off. That'll get in your head. The next one turned around the corner. Kamboj has a ping. Well, they'll get through. It's going to be off the bat. Taz probably the guy. And if you said, who do you want to face least on this pitch? I'm going to say Taj Muhammad. This one might stay down a little bit. Pretty well negotiated by Parveen Singh, who's come out to try and keep this game rolling in the right direction. Kamboj into the side. Does have 3 wickets on the network with his offies. Rate to win the game's gone up 16.4. Great bowling. I think that's his length there. That's his length where it might jump, it might keep low, but if it does either of those things, it is still a good result. I think that's it. That's the one. Where you can just kind of put it in that corridor of uncertainty. Now, miles in the air. Who wants it? Well, it's probably going to go for a 6, but Campbell, you'll run it down anyway. He almost catches it down the hill. Maximal. With the pace of Taj Muhammad, that one was disappearing. Great shot by Adnan Ali. Bit of a rear guard action. A pace is a blessing and a curse, as they say in the classics. Hello to Rico Fool, who is meant to be heading home for a few days off. He says he's stranded at Budapest Airport trying to get home. Well, Rico, great that you're here with us. Get ready for some entertaining cricket. Muhammad trying to finish his over. He does by blasting a fast ball through Adnan Ali, and that's the end of 3. And the score is 29 for 3. This pitch must be from Taj Muhammad's dreams. And because it just gives him so much assistance. Okay, sometimes it can work against him, like that ball disappearing for 6. Rate required up over 16 towards 17 up, so Alarm's going to come back to 2 for 4 in his first over. I think 5 in total off the over, including a bye in there. End of the power play, so 5 outfielders are allowed and will be employed from this point forward. Alarm to Parveen Singh. Only faced the one delivery so far. That's a good start. We'll start from Alarm. Just again, that corridor of uncertainty. Bucks, the umpires have a bit of a word, and he's exactly right. If you were going to bowl from that right-hand side of the pitch, you meant to leave the pitch to the right as well, instead of running in front of the umpire. The down leg side were handled by Greenshields. Ultimately, saves any further run, but it will be one to the total. Well, Rico, how are you feeling? Tell me, have you at least found some air conditioning? Oh, beautifully flicked away, leg side, up into the grandstand. Maximal! Beautiful little pickup shot. I think if I was bowling to Parveen here, I'd be tempted. I'd be going round the wicket and trying to rip my fingers down the right-hand side of the ball, trying to get a bit of off-cut. Seeing if this pitch is going to give me a bit of assistance that way. Don't think you want to curve into him and allow him to play that shot. Well executed, though, by Parveen. Try something like that. I think it's more or less seam up. Will be another wide to the total. Another one down leg side. So just a little bit all over the place at the moment, Upstart. Oh, that one surprises Parveen. Change of angle does the trick. I think he's home here. Bucks is satisfied with that. Might be worth a look, though. Feel like this bat's just down in time. Yeah, just in time. Still, pretty good piece of fielding. Hit the stumps, but you can see why this is a pitch where you don't see that consistency, I suppose. You might get in other places. appeal for a lot of people that were far away from the pitch that time. Wasn't particularly close. Beautifully picked up. He likes it there. It's been a real mixed bag from Alam in this over. That one's drop kicked over mid-wicket for 6. Maximo. Nice shooting from Parveen. I need plenty more of that. Maybe even a bat in here. Maybe not. Maybe it was just a bat slamming into the pad. And then the ball slamming into the pad. So that'll be a leg by to finish the over. Alam, bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly in there. But anyway, he'll finish with pretty good figures of 2 for 19. 45 for 3 after 4. Just keeping ahead of that blue line. That could be important, I suppose. Putting up CC Amador if they're not going to win this game. Which I suppose, look, 17 and over. It's possible, but doubtful. And getting a point at least kind of guarantees them a spot, rather than leaving that up to having to get that point or points against LSG later on tonight. Nupane, the new bowler. Oh, the first one hits the crease and bounces over for 4 byes. Oh, welcome. Conrad wasn't expecting this. You'll find around where the bowlers land at the other end, it is a bit uneven as well. And so if a ball bounces around there, it can take off. Wow, is that Krishna Nupane or is that Taj Muhammad bowling one over the keeper? Anyway. Oh, I think that's hit the stumps, but it hasn't knocked the bails off. I think that's hit the base. Maybe camera 4 will show this, but I'm pretty sure that this has hit the wickets. Look, here now. Yeah, and see how it's jumped off? It's hit the rubber base, but it hasn't knocked off the bails, and that's why they're checking for the chewing gum. Poor Nupane, it was a pretty perfect Yorker. It literally bounces on the corner of the stumps, but doesn't dislodge the bails. Oh, what a shot. This time he uses the pace. Probably knew it was going to be full because the first 2 were. Puts it over the grandstand. Maximo. 6 to Parveen. Nupane gets a pat in the back from Taj. Just the line wrong there. Don't mind that length. Okay, maybe it turns into a bit of a half volley, but I like the thinking. We've just got to be disciplined, keeping that side off. First one wasn't actually too bad. Not bounced over the keeper for 4 byes, but still. Oh, this one is going to keep a bit low. Greenshields makes a block, but we'll give away a bye. Yeah, there are some pitches that keepers will tell you, look, if I get off the field and I haven't given up a Bradman score in byes, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. This is probably one of those pitches. Now just laces it over backward point, and Maximo. That's another ball that is going to test the resilience of the grandstand. Is this game still on? I know they're not going to get there in 7 overs, but still, it'd be a psychological blow, wouldn't it? As long as this game goes to the 8th over, Oeiras have done enough to qualify at the top. Maybe time for new balls, please. And that one went a long way over. So Nupane, 12 off the over, still not so bad if he can win this last battle. Okay, there was the 4 buys as well, but we weren't charged with those ones. And by 4 buys, I mean 5 buys. But that is the end of the over. And yeah, I like what Nupane's dealing. Nice to see him getting a bowl here in Super 5 match 9, but it's halfway through this response at 62 for 3 after 5. So not really kind of what Punjab CC Amadora would have wanted to still need this many, but 1 or 2 big overs. You never know your luck in the big city. Not that this is a big city, but you get my drift. Taj Mohammed coming back, and that I think just signals that whereas they'd like to try and break this partnership. If they do that, they might be able to still kind of defend the 4 points. 101 or less. Whereas would get all of them. Here's Taj. And at the body first up. Backed up by the backup fielder. Off the gloves there, so it'll be given 1 run. Wow, that's the effort ball. It's going to be caught a wide for above the head. Maybe side on. Maybe camera 3 will give us a good look at this. Did seem pretty high, I've got to say. Did seem pretty high. Taj doesn't like the call. This won't tell us much. It's above the head. I mean, it's pretty tall. I know these are tough calls to make when the ball is travelling at this speed. Give the umpire the benefit of the doubt on that one. But Taj, message sent. In the air, catchable. He's got room as well, Sawa, and he takes the catch. And, oh, there we go. Taj fired up. A little bit of a subtle message towards Krut Patel, square leg there. But anyway, hey, all's well that ends well. He's brought back to break the partnership, and that's exactly what he does. That's the 4th wicket down, 64 for 4. Not an easy guy to take back over his head. Yeah, Tripp saying you never know. Some crazier things have happened. Hello to Bruno Cavalieri. Hello, Diesel. How are you? Missing you as always. Hopefully you're well. Prick comes out. Spicy ball. Does it get some of the body? Must have. Or did it? Yeah, saying off the arm. Yeah, Bucks likes to get pretty specific with his signals. My favourite is when Buck says there's a bit of an edge. It looks like he's playing the bongo drums. I was wondering what it means, but now I understand it. Honestly, these guys put a lot of effort, and the officials deserve a lot of praise. Oh, push, but finds the fielder. Throw comes whistling in and well backed up. So that'll be a top ball. Still continuing to attack the game, aren't they? 82 off 26 for the game, creeping a little bit out of control now. Is it time to reassess? Uh-oh. That one, I think it's gone down leg side. Are they going to say it's a no? Is it off the over the waist or not? They're saying it's not over the shoulder or not. They're saying it's not over the shoulder. Maybe side on will show us. It was really full. Yeah, I don't think that's over the shoulder when it passes him. Let's see, maybe camera 3 will tell us. Camera 3 will give us a good idea of where this is. Because camera 3 is side on. And, okay, let's have a look. Nice and slow here. Oh, yeah, probably is over the shoulder. So for that reason, it'll be a no ball for the second bounce up. Maybe one more time. Here we go. Nice and slow here. We'll see it. Yeah, that is over his shoulder. It's very hard to judge, but I think it's going to be no ball for the second above the shoulder. And it's bonus 5 runs. 4 buys. Conrad probably won't love that either. Free hit coming up. All right, strap yourselves in. And he's hit pretty well. That's going to run away for 4. Lovepreet fights back. And Taj asking how come these fielders down the ground are not able to stop that. I think Midoff was up in the circle. It's a pretty good shot. I would have thought maybe he'd go slower ball there. He's shown he'll do that before. Decided to keep the pace on. It disappeared. Oh, Taj has got grumpy fast bowler vibes right now. Dave said he's off to a jam session, so hope you have fun there, Dave. We'll miss you here, but enjoy yourself. Oh, climbing. Another one's going to be called a no ball for height. Taj is like dangerous chemicals that shouldn't be mixed together. I mean, it'll be an exciting result, but it might not be good for you. He's almost got to go Yorker here. I can't see a length that's not going to go over the shoulder. All right, another free hit coming up then. That'll be actually a warning for too many bounces. He should be fine. If he bowls another one, then he'll be out. But I think, yeah, that's it. Taj is like, I'm trying to get out of the attack. I just need to bowl one more ball. It's a free hit. Probably doesn't want to bowl this ball anyway. Anyway. All right, we're away. This one, I think, is just okay. So, he decides to go short anyway. He's in Don't Caresville, USA. Right, that's 2 for 17 for Taj and about 50 buys. I lost count. It's the end of the 6th over, and it's 75 for 4. Great to see you, Chris Smith. Hopefully you're well. Yeah, Dave, enjoy your jam tonight. Here's start of a new over. You might be wondering what the warning was for. So if you bowl your first bouncer in the over, it's a bouncer. It's fine. Second one, it's a no ball. If you bowl another one in the over, it's a no ball plus it's a first and final warning. And if you bowl another one after that, well, you're out of the attack. And that warning carries through for the whole 2 overs. So I'll give you an example in a minute. This is Giri Singh bowling. If you bowled a bouncer in your first over, another bouncer first over, and then another bouncer first over, that's a first and final warning. And that will carry through to the second over. So in the second over, you can go, first one is fine, second one's a no ball, and third one, that time you'll be out of the attack because you've already had your warning. I had some questions about that. Yeah, so it does mirror generally what's done, although it does differ from competition to competition. Some places you are allowed 2 bounces now. Anyway, here's what they need for a point. They should sew that up, you'd imagine. But you never know. Girish is trying to keep things quiet. Parveen's still there. And now he's going to horn one up and out of the ground. Brace for impact. Maximo. That last over from Taj ended up only going for, well, went for 13. But there were only 5 runs off the bat. Hello to John Gray. Great to have you with us. Hopefully you're well. Girish. If he's going to go around the week, he has to roll his fingers on a few. I think Parveen's really enjoyed the ball coming into him. A better line at least. Parveen can't really come up with the answer for that one. 19 off 20 for a point. Canawarish pulled out a really top last third of the innings and find their way in. Well, that's a really good shot. He makes the adjustment, Parveen. I said he didn't have the answers. He did that time. He stepped across and kind of went with the line of the ball, had the length on to be able to play that kind of a shot. Maximo! Parveen, it's been pretty good here. The thing is, as soon as this ball's bowled, Oeras, they'll be basically in the final, no matter what happens, because they will pick up a point, and that will make the gap too big for Punjab CC Amadora to bridge. Did kind of say that the par, I thought it was going to be more like 120 in the Super Fives, but hasn't really panned out that way yet. I can actually tell you what it is in a moment. No ball called. And it's going to go away for 4 as well. Well, it must be for the feet. He's looking back, he can't believe it. But he must have just overstepped. Maybe we can see the replay. But he won't be out of the over yet. He must, yeah, it's a front foot no ball. You can tell there. Knocked away, leg side, well handled out there. So that will take us to the end of the 7th over, and the score is 95 for 4. Gets them pretty close to that point. I'm just doing a quick calculation to see what the Super 5 run rate is. And it hasn't been too high, but this is kind of more of what I expected. It's been 11.4. So it's a fraction higher. It's about 0.6 of a point higher, I think. But yeah, certainly not the kind of 12 that I thought. Azim Sawa is going to bowl, and it's be his left arm spin. So we do see some spin here. CC Amadora 7 for the point for the game. Well, they're going to need to have a big 3 overs. They still need 51, so they need 17 and over to do that. I wouldn't count him out, especially left-hander against left-handers. Probably a good matchup. This is going to test Sawa. Let's see if he can keep Parveen quiet. Steps across, misses. So does Conrad, though, and it's going to run away for 4 byes. Just didn't quite block the right line there, and an unhit 4 to start the over. So, yeah, game's alive then. 47 required off 17. Not a bad start from Sawa, though. Wants to sneak across. Oh, this one right on the end of the finger from Conrad. He's having a terrible time. Oh, dear. That's right on the end of the finger. Oh, who's next? Girish? You don't have to sort yourself out here. Put the bowling away for a bit, because I think that Conrad's had a gutful of the keeping for now. That's right on the end of the finger. You saw it. Just bounced, it jumped. And I think it probably just hurts a lot. And it's going to blow up. It's, all right. He said he's going to get on with it. He's prides himself on being tough as nails. There's Girish. He'd probably be my choice to take the gloves. Of course, he can take over if there's a case of injury. Anyway, let's see what happens the next one that gets missed. Well, this is not missed. It's going to be up and over the top. Maximo! And that's the shot that brings up the 100. And it takes Punjab CC Amadora to a point and to a spot in finals night tomorrow. So now really what we're looking at is, can the Caps hold on to their spot, or can LSG steal it? 2 of the 3 finalists are known. Steps across and smashes it out of the ground. Maximo back to back as Parveen moves to 49. What a fantastic bit of striking. I mentioned the left-hand versus left-hand matchup. Parveen stepping across with somewhat immunity, even though someone did get a couple past. Well, this game is back down to 35 off 14. Big gamble to go to Sawa against the left-hander. So far, getting pumped. Now gets one on the hip and turns this one around. Maximo! 50 for Parveen Singh, brings it up off 23 balls. And never mind the point. Punjab CC, they want the whole pie here. They want the win. 29 off 13 now. Who can they bowl as well? I mean, Junaid's still got one. He's a lock. And then I don't know who they'll bowl for the other over. I think you got to bring Junaid back next. And then kind of see where you're at. Upane, I thought he was pretty good actually. Might be an option. Now goes the uppercut. That's going to fly away. And that's going to be 4. So magical over. 26 come off that one in the end. Finishes with 4 consecutive boundaries. And the score 121 for 4 after 8. The Super 5's coming alive here. You've got to go Junaid now, I'm sure about that. And then see who you want to bowl last. That's what I would be doing anyway. And you've got a choice. I think Nupane, actually quite liked Nupane's bowling. He was full. I think that's probably what you're looking for towards the end. Or do you go elsewhere? I actually think that they are going to go elsewhere. And yeah, this is Gurjit Singh. Yeah, well, he's not a bad option either. Biggest over of the game, though, 25 off 12 required. Can Punjab CC Amadora pull off a remarkable turnaround to pinch this game? Oh, mishit in the air. Just outside the grasp of Junaid. Does it run for 4? I think that's 4. I think he's kicked it with a foot on the rope. Now we'll check it, but I'm almost certain that he steps on the rope and an out is being signalled 4, so that's the right call. That was a great effort from Junaid. He may have even gotten a hand under it, but knows the value of the wicket, in particular the wicket, to kind of break this partnership. Oh, it's called wide. It's a harsh one, though, I think. I don't know if this is all the way outside the line. Umpire says yes. Whereas undefeated so far in this European cricket series at night. This is up in the air. Doesn't quite carry. I just spotted the clock as well. The clock has 35 seconds. Geez, so Gurjit needs to hustle here. They could lose 5. Wow, that's smashed. Going, and gone. Maximo. Wow. Geez, they could do this. If they get this 5 runs, this could be all over Red Rover. Again, look, the main thing is the Irish have a point out of this, so it doesn't actually hurt them a lot, but it's got to hurt the pride a little bit, especially with finals night tomorrow. Parveen to 65. There goes the clock. I reckon this could all be over before we even get going in the 10th. Another one lifted up and out of here. Maximo. That's if we even get to a 10th. At the moment, Parveen going absolutely crazy. And Punjab CC Amadora are going to go back-to-back 140s chasers. I don't want to look at the extras, but I will. 29. That's about to be 34 in a minute. I wonder if they'll give the runs now, because the runs are done. May not need to. That clock has expired. I'm in favour at this stage of just giving them so everyone knows the situation. 7 to win now. That's lifted away, and that's also gone. Maximo scores are tied here at 145. As Parveen's gone absolutely crazy, moves to 77. This game is over, folks. Even if there's no run here, we're going to get 5 penalty runs. So I think you've got to go back to Junaid in the 9th over, then make your decision. Either way, you had to give 1 over each. And the last ball of this game, I think no matter what, in the air, and it's game, set, Maximo. Here come Punjab CC Amadora. Back-to-back 140s chasers. And they are lifting Parveen in the air. He'll finish on 83, not out. Punjab bring up the 150 with the winning runs. And they win with 6 balls to spare. We were wondering, would they even be able to get to that point? They end up stealing the match, and the Swans lose for the first time in this ECSN. What a match. Once again, Punjab CC pulling off an epic chase. Very, very well-managed chase, I suppose. Whereas they'll probably learn a bit out of that as well. They lost the plot a little bit, didn't they? Just with the pitch being so bouncy, a lot of balls that kind of went over the top for wides, or no balls on occasion. And yeah, in the end, it's quite an incredible chase. A 146 chase. They do finish on 151 though, because of that. Have a look at the end of the game. We had 5 boundaries in the 8th, including a 4 byes. We had 5 boundaries in the 9th. This is how it finished. Parveen 83 not out of 28. 13s for Arshad and Adnan Ali and Lovepreet with 10 not out. More of a bystander than anything else, as Parveen hit 12 maximos and just 2 boundaries in his 83 not out. Quite amazing. And bowling-wise, well, Absar Alam, he was good early, wasn't he? 2 for 19 for him, 2 for 17 Taj. Even though he was a bit wild and woolly in there, but just struggled with the depth in the bowling. Azim Sawa wasn't a great matchup to the 2 left-handers. And Kuchit was tried, but he ended up going supersonic, and the game was won. We'll take a break then, Awarish. I know they'll be disappointed, but they still have picked up that point to at least finish in top spot, so they are guaranteed to be in the final. We know that Punjab CC Amadora are now going to finish in 2nd, but the question is who's going to finish 3rd. Now, if Lisbon Super Giants can win in their next game coming up tonight, then they would actually leapfrog the Capitals. So the Capitals are nervous once again. We'll take a break back in around about half an hour with the second half of our big doubleheader in Portugal. Tonight, it will be Punjab CC Amadora back on the park, riding high. But it's the Super Giants that want to fly. They'll need to win to stay alive in the competition. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo from Portugal. See you shortly for more ECSN.
This European Cricket Network event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software and Paramatch.
Hello, welcome back. Great to have your company as we get ready for the second half of our doubleheader tonight. The final match of the Super Fives. Punjab CC Amadora fresh off the biggest chase we've seen in the tournament so far, taking on the Lisbon Super Giants. Big game for the Super Giants in particular. A little bit earlier we had the coin toss. Let's see what happened in the coin toss for match 10.
Your call. Head. Head is the call. And tail it is. Ball first. Punjab CC won the toss and they will have a ball first.
So there you have it. Great job by Shub once again, and gives us a chance to have a look at these two teams. Imran certainly been in pretty good form, but it was Parveen Singh that stole the show in that last game, getting Punjab CC Amadora to a very, very challenging target for Lisbon Super Giants. Obviously, captaining the side as usual. Hardik Kumar with the gloves and also listed to open, but Amandeep Singh, I think he's a real key player. Watch out for someone like a Jaswant Singh with his left arm tweakers. Samad Us-Atta as well. Watch out for him. Atta Us-Samad, we normally call him. He's also a bit of a wild thing with the ball. He's been pretty good at times in this series as well. How about that chase from Punjab CC Amadora in the earlier game? Ended up pulling off that 146 chase with an over to spare. Now, Punjab CC Amadora, huge favourites in this, but I will tell you that they now have qualified. So, I just wonder, sometimes you've got two teams. One has all the motivation in the world, and the other is kind of just basically playing for a bit of practice. I feel like this could be one of those games. Czechia coming up, and we're only around about, how many days? About 8 days away from a start in Czechia, because we start with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, T20 action in the Central Europe Cup, or the CE Cup, which is a three-weight women's series this year. Cyprus ongoing. We'll finish with some international T10 and T20 cricket in both men's and women's. So great time to be involved in European cricket. Plenty of cricket happening in the world right now. Of course, is what's coming up in Cyprus tomorrow. Group B action continuing. We saw the Sri Lankan Lions, unsurprisingly, and BF Cyprus, British Forces Cyprus, getting the 2 free tickets to the quarterfinals. Still have to win 3 games on the spin to win that tournament. But BF Cyprus sewing up that second spot today, just ahead of the Napa Kings. And I don't know if we got tomorrow night as well, but tomorrow night we can tell you that we do know who has qualified in first and second. So it's just third. There we go. It's Awerash who have qualified for the final, and Punjab CC Amadora qualifying second. So this is what it comes down to. Lisbon Capitals will qualify in third unless, and a big unless, Lisbon Super Giants can win this game. And it's really about as simple as that. First is locked in, second is locked in. And, yeah, Super Giants on 6 points, Lisbon Capitals with 8. The only result that gets Lisbon Capitals through is a win. If it was a washout even, they're worse on net run rate. So, yeah, this is all to play for. It's basically a knockout game for one of the two teams. I don't think Punjab CC Amadora want to tempt fate, though. They'll go out there, try and play their best cricket. You don't come all this way to give in a half-hearted effort. Here's Bikramjit. Goes very wrong first ball. It's very good running as well. Jiwan Giri hustling through for the single. Amandeep Singh was on strike for that first ball. Hello to everyone. hopefully you're enjoying all the cricket on offer around the universe right now. A lot of people watching the USA versus Pakistan, understandably so. USA on the verge of what could be one of the biggest upsets we could remember. Well, multi-screening. This one kind of jams him for room, ends up putting it straight to the field. It probably would have been a wide down leg side had he just left it alone. USA, remember they had a win in their first game over Canada. We'll be hoping to go 2-0. I mean, quite a turn up for the books. This one's pulled away, and it's going to be over at the infield. It'll run away. You see that hill down there? It's probably something you don't realise unless you hear it at the ground. It does drop off very quickly. That's why those boundaries have to be as short as they are for safety reasons. The old football field, I should say. It's going to be a wide. Pretty good take behind the stumps. It's going to be a no ball, actually. It must be the second over the shoulder. Wickrum's just been a little bit off here. Bikram has to rein it in a bit. Free hit. All right, it's going to be another no ball. It's got to be over the shoulder. Don't think it was over the head. Might have been, but it's the same kind of problems that Taj was having earlier in the night. It definitely gets up above shoulder height. So that'll be a third. It'll be a first and final warning as well for Bikram for short pitch deliveries. And, of course, it's still a free hit. Wow, okay. This maybe from side on. We can see this on camera 3. This is pretty close as well, considering the shot he played. The umpire has a tough call to make here. Again, let's see, maybe we can see a replay of it. We'll have to go with the umpire's decision. It was a free hit as well. That would have been a handy one for the Super Giants. Now, pitches up in the air and caught. Well, this is why, look, the one before, if it was above the shoulder, should have been a no ball, and then this should have been a free hit. So that really hurts Luzman Super Giants in the end. We'll never know, I guess. It was around shoulder height, maybe, but Bikram somehow breaks through for the wicket. Giri goes 4 off 6. A lot of those were unreachable, but the first wicket falls, and it's 8 for 1. Decent catch to take in the end. A little bit of a flashpoint early in this game. Anyway, all's well that ends well for Bikramjit Singh. Gulam Daskia gets a hit at 3. First one's a bit wild. I'm already keeping my eye on the clock because this is an over. That's already gone. What is it? 3.5 minutes. That's probably 4.5 minutes if you include the minute allowance for the wicket. Keep an eye on that as we go. Yeah, how about this one? Now, you can't believe it. And to be honest, this could be an interesting replay as well. He's saying, surely this is above the shoulder. And to be honest, I think he's got a fair point. Let's have a look on the replay. Is it over the fence? I think it is. Oh, yeah. That really should be called. I think that's the 4th one in the over. He could have been off, Bikram. Gear has to just kind of grin and bear it. Oh, I think they get lucky there. I know they're not easy calls, but I think the end result of it is that Bikram super lucky to get away with a couple of those. 9-4-1 after 1. We saw it happen earlier, didn't we? And Taj Muhammad is the one that springs to mind, but he wasn't the only one. It's getting unexpected bounces. These aren't even meant to be bounces, but they turn out to be bounces by definition. Let us know your thoughts, ECN European Cricket Network. Said Ali Naki to bowl over number 2. Worked away by Amandeep. He'll get one. No, Amandeep's not very happy right now, but I can tell you I was happy when he actually presented me with a little pastry to keep me going at the start of the night. That was very thoughtful, so big thank you to all the Super Giants and to Amandeep for that gesture. Feeling very lucky to have made so many great friends and met so many people around European cricket. One will be a wide, no doubt about that. Yeah, hard to believe. We're only about 24 hours away from the final. Now, hopefully the weather stays. It's been good ever since I've been here in week 4. But there is some concern. We might have a thunderstorm tomorrow night. Oh, it's a tough one to deal with. A 2 versus 3 format tomorrow. So Punjab, CC, Amadora, they'll have to go through either the Capitals or the Super Giants again to make it to the final. The other thing is with the Portuguese national team flying out, might affect availability of some of the players for tomorrow night's finals night. Just tapped off the hip for a single. Just gear. Gets off the mark eventually. Hello to Chris Smith. Hello to Rob Thompson as well. Hopefully you're well. Rob saying better late than never. Always welcome here, Rob. That's going to take off, and that's going to be 5 wides as Syed Ali Naki joins the Minimo Club. It's pretty busy in there. Bouncers letting him in. But how about that for the bouncer getting this pitch? Like I said, I would say this to the bowlers. There's so many times you would hope that the pitch would give you something and it gives you nothing. Now here, you've been given a golden opportunity here on this pitch. It's going to give you everything, but you just need to know how to use it. You can't bowl too short, and if you do, that's going to happen. It's going to cost you big runs. That's 5. It's going to be out. Yeah, it wasn't a free hit, was it? It was a wide the ball before. I'm just trying to keep track now. Hits the top of the stump, so 5 wides, but then the next ball clips the top of middle. Just checking it wasn't the second in the over, but it was just wides the ball before because it was the first bouncer, and that will be the end of Amandeep Singh. It's the top of the stumps and climbs up over the keeper. And the score is 17 for 2. Yeah, 17 for 2. But 11 of those runs are extras so far. Kind of says everything, doesn't it? Hardik Patel, the new batter. Still a couple to come in the second over. Hardik hangs the bat out and gets off the mark with a single. .101 expected at the moment. Last ball of the Saidalinaki over. Huge swing, but no contact from Daskia. Having a tough old time at the moment, understandable. That's the end of the second over, and the Super Giants are 18 for 2. You can see that gets quite front on, opening up that front leg. This is telling you all you need to know. Lisbon Capitals are third at the moment. Only the top 3 go through. If the Super Giants win, they go to 9 points, or 10, depending. But they're definitely more than the 8 of the Lisbon Capitals. But if they lose, they're going to finish outside the 3. There's one that keeps down. They're going to take on the single. Clever running. Daskia hustles through. That's going to take off. It's going to be well handled in the end. One glover for Sakib Yunus. Also a bit of a historic moment for African cricket with Uganda winning their first ever World Cup match, defeating Papua New Guinea. Very bowling heavy game. It's got to have to be a one for the over at least. And now he's got to watch it. We've been here before. Definitely over the shoulder. See it there. Yeah, that's it. That's what you need to do. Once you bowl the one for the over, don't take any chances. It's not worth it. Pitch it up. You still get good lift. That ball was climbing through to the keeper. He's chopped on. So that will be the third wicket to fall. Daskia has a tough time navigating the conditions. Chops on for 1 off 8, and the Super Giants lost a third. 20 for 3. Doesn't like what he sees when he turns around there. Yeah, Rob, hope everything's well in New Zealand. New batter comes to the crease, and it's Surya Pratap. Well, it's got to be no ball now. It's got to be over the shoulder again. It's exactly what we said he can't afford to do. Bikramjit. Honestly, I think he was pretty lucky to get away with 2 last over. From my count, that's his 6th bounce that he's bowled. Yeah, that's probably a wide if it wasn't a no ball. Got to pitch it up. By now, you shouldn't be surprised, is my point, I suppose. Yeah, well, it's good old-fashioned French cut. Backstop runs around, makes the stop. No real damage. That's the thing, despite some of these issues he's had with the balls taking off over the keeper, his figures actually look pretty good. 2 for 12 off 11 balls bowled. Edged, and what a brilliant catch from Yunus. Go gadget gloves, and Pratap's going to have to go for a duck. Brilliant stuff from the keeper. We know this pitch is tricky, and it's got so much bounce. That one climbed up, and he took it to his right, and he's pretty thrilled about it too. Why not? Lisbon Super Giants crumbling under the conditions at the moment. They're 23 for 4, but what a catch that was by Sakib Yunus. Really good grab. Change of over now. So Naki is going to come and bowl out. So they're sticking with their openers. Yeah, pretty good looking drive first up. Just a single. But in this first 3 overs, we've had 8 extra deliveries. So we actually had more or less an average of 9 balls in an over. This one gets up as well, and it's going to be hooked away. Maximo. Dhingra makes the perfect start, and that's testing as far as length goes as well. But it's deemed to be under the shoulder, or at least shoulder height, or below. Let's have a look at it here. The European cricket sign there in the background is a good indicator. Whew. I think that's a bouncer. I can understand that giving the 50-50s to the bowlers because it's hard for them to control it. It's probably not the batter's fault, though. Pitched up this time from Said Ali Naki. A lot of people watching the Pakistan-USA game at the same time. Got to admit, keep in mind the score. It'd be a huge upset if USA could pull this off. Wild swing. That's what Hardik likes to do. Seen it many times. Naki gets the line right that time, I think. This time he does get a piece of it, but not too much. High in the air and taken. That's 5 wickets out in the first 4 overs, and it's trouble for the Super Giants playing for their tournament life. Hardik tries to play his favourite little pickup shot, but doesn't get it out of the infield. CC Amadora, they've caught reasonably well. And Hardik is the next to go. He'll go for 3. The score now is 31 for 5. Gujit takes a safe catch there in the circle. Wow, that's hit pretty well. Going, gone. Maximo! Oh, fielder on the boundary took a couple of steps in thinking, okay, I think I'm going to be able to get this, but he needed to stay on the rope, and if he did, maybe he's got to play on that ball. See? Just out of position made the difference, I think. Now, whether he would have caught it or not, that's another matter. But it will be the end of the 4th over. It's 37 for 5 after 4. LSG trying to stay alive in this tournament. Need a win to do so. Adnan Ali looks like he's going to grab the ball in over number 5. Starts with a swing and a miss. Yeah, plenty of cricket going on around the world. We know that. I was enjoying some of our social media at European cricket as well during the day. Some of our best ever team catches. I think with so many, we might even have to do volume 2. Goes after this, gets hands to it. Can't quite hold on. It's off the inside half of the bat. And Said Ali Naki finds himself in the circle at square leg, almost reeling that one in. Waits on this, maybe a slight change of pace from Adnan Ali, but worked away for a single. Goes forward again. This is more or less a leading edge, but just get a single for it. Yeah, going down the last couple of overs there in the USA. To be honest, I can't necessarily see Pakistan losing from this position, even though the odds would probably say otherwise. But here shows you how much more difficult it is to hit boundaries really at T20 level. Strange trend, I think, towards in international T20s, I think towards bigger fields, and some of the pitches haven't been too conducive to fluent stroke play. Walks at this, gets it on the full, and only gets a single. That'll be the end of the over here in Portugal, and the score is 42 for 5. Uh, 87 predicted by the supercomputer. 84 pace at the moment. Here's Gurjeet. Started with a wicket earlier. This time he won't get one first ball, but he has worked away by Dhingra for a single. Big swing and a miss this time. I mentioned they've got a pretty pace-heavy attack, don't they? Punjab CC Amadora. Oh, he backs away and backs himself into trouble here, doesn't he, Chaudhry? That's the one thing I would say. I know it's an instinct to maybe get out of harm's way, but if you back away outside leg stump here, you're just really making yourself a target. You see, once again gets himself in that similar position. Big swing and a miss. Bowled him as Chaudhry has a bit of a rough time in that over. Ends up losing his off stump as Gurjeet breaks through and LSG fall further into the mire. They're 43 for 6, playing for their tournament life. A few people whispering, Punjab CC Amadora, what are they going to deliver this game? They're already in the finals. Will they maybe mix things up? I just think when you want to win the tournament, you take every game seriously, and you don't tempt fate. You say, we think we're good enough to beat every team in this competition, and now they have actually beaten every other team in this competition. Played away, and just a single taken there. Pretty good over that from Gurjeet. Takes 1 for 2. End of 6. It's 44 for 6. Just Dingra in double figures so far. Not a pretty scorecard to watch. I've got Lovepreet. First one gets a bit of the line according to the umpire. Remember, if it is on the line, it's now a good ball. That one will be a wide though. This is Atta Samad, batting number 8. Gets a single there. How many can they gather here though? LSG. It's called wide. Again, maybe borderline. Thought might have got a bit of the tram line on the way through. If he's going to stand up to this Stubbs needs a helmet there. That's probably what's being communicated right now. So keeper Sakib decides to stand back a touch. Now, just swept away over square leg. What a shot. Maximal. 6 to Dingra. Nice start, that. Dingra brings up the 50 for the Super Giants. Really enjoyed watching their progress in this series. And just in the last few series, actually, Super Giants. Goes on the walk. Probably knows he can't be stumped with the keeper slightly back. Gets the wide call. Now, walks it, plays a really nice shot again. Clipped away over the wall. Maximal. Dingra fighting back for LSG. I think just having a little bit of a word about the landing of Hafiz. Buckstone, a very experienced official now. Now walks him again, and he's going to get 6 more. Maximal. Oh, Dingra playing a real lone hand here, isn't he? Get out the foot symbols and tune in for the one-man band here. The Devil's number, 66 for 6. And this time it goes quicker and a bit shorter. Kind of jams him up. That'll be the end of the over. 67 for 6. Hello to Johanna, who's in the chat right now. LSG, with some of those blows now, they're kind of expected to get 90s. Just doesn't seem enough against this Punjab CC Amadora batting line at this. Made back-to-back 140s chases possible. Edged and gone. That'll be another wicket. This time Dingra is going to have to go after a very good contribution. Just the natural angle of Parveen here. Maybe left leaves off pitch touch. Open face there. And that partnership is broken. It did provide some resilience, didn't it? And they went from 31 for 5 to 43 for 6, and now 67 for 7, so it was worth 24 in the end. Srivastav, the captain, comes out. Anoop. He gets the first one away. Not necessarily convincingly, but good enough. Atta Samad. Let's see what he can provide now with the bat. Edge and another catch offered, another catch taken by Saqib Yunus, who's been on fire behind the stumps. And just like that, Parveen Singh's got two. This innings falls further. 68 for 8 now. $68 for 8. We get down to number 10. Here's Parveen. Bowling to Shani Patel coming out at 10. The first one. Well, they're not sure if they're running or not. I don't know why you wouldn't take a run there, to be honest. Why wouldn't you take every run possible at the moment? Shiva's to have the cap on the other end. Okay. Got Jaswant still to bat. He's not the worst batter, actually. A bit surprised to see him at number 11. You can see he's determined to try and shut up shop here and say, look, okay, I'll try and block these 3 balls out and then over to you, Skipper. But Skipper's only faced 1 ball. Well, now they run. All right, well, I don't really know what's going on out there. That's the end of the 8th over. Can't tell you that. 69 for 8 after 8 overs. Yeah, and the news is, in case you missed it, it's gone into a super over now in the USA versus Pakistan. Since USA continue to bat, we'll get 6 balls, and then Pakistan will get 6 balls because we had a first ever super over in the France versus Belgium game. It's around about a month ago now, I suppose. Adnan to bowl the 9th. Well, that was pretty close. He's gone. Yeah, he got a long way across. I think that just deflected, straightened down the line slightly, and yeah, always thought he was a bit of a candidate for that, Shani Patel. I think it's one nice and slow. You can see where it pitches. Pitches in line, see? Just comes in a bit. I think that's a pretty fair decision by Buck Stoneman. So Shani will have to go for just the 1 run. 69 for 9. They're down to their last batter. That's JP. Or Jaswant Singh. Actually, like I said, he's not the worst batter at all. Very surprised to see him batting down 11. The first one is leading edge. Bowler wants it, keeper wants it. They fight. And who won the race? I think the keeper's got it. Yeah. So Yunus will take it in the end. And they're all out for 69. So it'll be a golden duck for Jaswant. Look, I could actually tell who had the ball. But Yunus, in the end, I think he takes 4 catches there. A pretty good effort from the Punjab CC Amadora Gloveman. And they're all out for 69. So 70. Punjab CC to win this game. Lisbon Super Giants need to defend this 69 or they know they are out of this tournament. No one really able to do too much. Only Dhingra was able to mount some resistance. 30 off 12 for him. But the next highest score was 8 by Chowdhury. Next highest after that was 4. And 18 of those runs were extras, so only 51 off the stick. But Dhingra, like I said, provided at least a skerrick of respectability to the scorecard. And he was able to strike 4 Maximos in that innings. Next highest, like I said, Chaudhry with 8, and he provided the only other 6 of the innings. Only 5 sixes in the innings, just won 4. And Super Giants end up all out for that 69. Bowling-wise, well, plenty of good performers, as you'd imagine. Bikramjit Singh, look, he's a bit all over the place, but he finished with 3 for 12. 2 wickets for Said Ali Naki, single for Gurjit Singh, and in the end, Adnan Ali finished 2 for 5. 2 wickets also to Parveen Singh, 2 for 2 off his only over. We'll take a break. We'll be back pretty shortly with the exciting conclusion of night number 5 of the Super 5 at 70 for Punjab CC Amadora to get the win. Vinny Sandu here, Mr. Maximo. We'll see you after the break with more ECSN.
This European Cricket Network event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software and Paramatch.
Hello and welcome back. Great to have your company. Last season the night here from the Estadio Municipal de Miranda de Córdoba. There's 24 matches since the last Golden Ball, which was in Cyprus not too long ago. Nish doing some great work over there. We'll be back tomorrow with matches 32 through 36. Starting with Telugu versus Al Fatah in a battle of two new teams to ECN cricket. Kipro Tigers, Limassol also making their ECN debut this morning. Pretty new looking Group B there. That starts 5 a.m. GMT, which is 7 o'clock in Central Europe, and 10:30 a.m. in India. Right now, lights are on, although with some of this Punjab hitting, might not be required. 70 is the target with Punjab CC Amador already sewing up the second place. Lisbon Supergiants are essentially playing for their tournament lives. Lisbon Capitals will be watching this very, very closely because as long as Punjab CC Amador score these 70 runs, Lisbon Capitals will be through. But is there a miracle on the cards? Here's Geary to get us started. Not a bad one first up. Defended away. The other thing is, obviously, Punjab CC, if they could chase in 7 overs, they get all 4 points. It's probably just more of a curiosity at this stage. Geary has been a proven performer for Lisbon Supergiants. I still think they're one of the more improved teams in the country. Now the next one is not really clipped the way I would have liked, but Imran, he's going to get the strike. Arshad, his opening partner. That's a good ball from Geary. Gets it outside the off stump. Needs to take wickets, and a lot of them. Just having a look at this series. Obviously, it's been a tricky pitch, we know that. Trying to look for kind of lowest defences. 83 was defended by the Caps the other night. That's the lowest score we've actually seen defended. So he's been a little bit careful here early on. Geary. That's a pretty good first over. That's right in that zone, isn't it? Well, there's a 1% chance, I suppose the computer's saying here, we might get a miracle. Puts him on his heels a bit. And that will take us to the end of a pretty good first over from Geary. Only concedes 3. So, well, the mountain is steep, but they do take the first step there with Geary. Only going for 2 plus a leg by off the last ball, that over. throwing Atta at this opening pair. Atta was smart. Wiry young bowler. Well, doesn't time that at all. Hit him right up on top of the bat, kind of jarred. Jarred Arshad. Yeah, pretty well bowled by Atta, swinging a touch, but Imran knocks him down the ground for a single. This is straightening as well, but handled down there by Dingra. He was excellent, wasn't he, in that first innings? Only batter of note. He was able to strike 30 off just 12 balls. 4 big Maximos in there. There's definitely some bat in it. That could be 5. It is 5. It's going to be 5 runs because there was some bat in it. Like I said, it was either pad or bat pad. But yeah, 5 runs for the 1 plus the 4 overthrows. I suppose you need to try and make something happen, but that's the last thing that Brisbane Super Giants could afford. Trying to defend this total in the 60s. Rashad will get the strike because it's 1 plus 4. It does change the strike. Now this is away from the field. It's going to be 4. So, geez, held on, didn't they, through the first over and a half, but then things just going away from LSG a little bit. And fortunately for Atta, that time he gets whipped away. Nice shot, though, from Arshad. Got to give him that. Down the leg side. It does at least create a dot ball. Got to feel for Atta a little bit there. That 5er inflating his figures slightly. But at the end of the second over, the score is 15 without loss. Punjab CC Amador have sewn up second place. Brisbane Super Giants need to find a way to win. Well, launched up and out of the ground. Oh, that's absolutely slammed by Imran Maximo. We've kind of had it all now. 4, 5, 6 pick-up sticks. Imran has been in pretty good form himself. Missed out earlier. Got one that kept a bit low on him. Now he's in a mood, isn't he? Puts that one up and over the fence. Maximo. Kiri so tight in the first over. He's disappeared for 2 6s first up here. Powerful strike. Imran 19 off 7. Looks like he wants an early dinner here. Goes again, leg side. That one's going to go to the short boundary. Maximo. 3 in a row. And the dam walls burst here. Change of angle now. Tries another approach. Well, beats him in a way, but it's going to sneak off the leg. That's going to be 4-leg bias. So, unfortunately, just not happening. Actually, given runs by Bucks. And just a little bit of a brush of the glove there, maybe. It'll be 4 more to Imran, who's racing away. He's gone 6-6-6-4. Magical over. It should be okay, despite Bucks not being able to see, because Giri's not made of glass. Oh, how'd that miss? Reminds me of one a little bit earlier. Oh, any old little... I might clear the benches as Hardik throws that back and accidentally hits the back of Ray Imran, who I think felt it. So, end of the over, and the score 37 without loss. Magical over. And you see that a tooth missing there at the end. And in fact, I had one surgically removed as there were no runs in the 10th. I'm curious, playing up for the draw strategy, but then a single was taken and then was out anyway, as we see it almost a fumble. A giant square on the field, maybe just impeding the fielders there. Eventually they're able to locate it. You're clinging on to that 1%. This one ties him up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Time to suck in the big ones for Imran. Got one earlier on. Oh, if Mrs. Imran's watching at home, maybe time to turn the telly off. I'll let you know how it works out. Bit of everything on the way through. Bit of the fruit salad. Heading to a 40 now. Question is, can they do it in the 7 overs? For interest's sake. Well, it's leading edge. It's up in the air. They're forming a queue, and it's going to work out. So it will be taken. Imran's going to have to go give it a rub for 29. Atta was Samad breakthrough. Again, he's been an emerging young player. And we do have a wicket here in match 10. So, Atta will get the breakthrough. Here's Simran. Mentioned he could probably use a few runs going into tomorrow night. Look, fingers crossed we don't have an issue with the weather tomorrow night. This one's going to just cramp him for room a little bit. Simran, powerful hitter. This is hobbies, is smoking long balls. That's exactly what he's going to do here. Like, maybe it wasn't quite off the middle, but he will get 6 runs. Maximo. Interesting, this one. I wasn't super sure it went all the way, but that is the vortex. Okay, let's have a look then. It is 6. Thanks for coming. That's what they need for a bonus point. Mentioned they Had a quiet first over, but they've been bellowing since. Lifted up in the air and out of here. Maximo! Simran, this is more where he wants to be hitting his sixes down the ground. So that'll take us to the end of the over, and the 50's up as well for Punjab CC Amador. It's 50 for 1 after 4. $20 off 18 to get all the points, and you might as well make that 14, as that's going to go all the way as well. Maximo! Well, just taking that back. Apologies to all the viewers out there. Thought this one had gone all the way, but yeah, it's one bounce 4, and Bucks is spot on. Now, this game will kick on a little bit longer, perhaps. 16 off 17. Pushes, runs, picked up. They have a pop. Not the greatest throw ever. They'll just get the single. That's a snap of the wrist from Simran. That one is out of here. Maximo, they like it. That's out of the arena. Well, you're heading down for a late night drink in Coimbra tonight. Watch out for Grizzlies en route, because that one ain't coming back. Simran looks in a hurry. That's what Boldo Chaudhary considers throwing it aggressively. I'm sure he thought about it. Looked up who was at the other end. Thought better of it. Chaudhary almost goes through him and has the perfect reply. That's nicely hit all the way along the carpet. That's going to be 4. So, Chaudhary has had some good moments in the series. But you start to wonder if that'll be it for him, because we're almost there, and at the end of 5 overs, the score is 65 for 1. With 5 runs to win, they can win it with 1 swing of the bat now. That one is going to get up. Four runs will put this to bed. I think it's probably a good call. I think he gets some of the line. No sense of theatre. Well, some people thought The choke might have been on for Punjab CC Amadora, but anything but here. Got a feel for LSG. They've clocked up a few miles this week. Their 4 trips to Cobra. And they've fought very hard. Obviously, they've had some good players in there. Amandeep Singh, it's been excellent for them. I think Jaswant, his switch to spin bowling's worked pretty well. You saw how hard Dhingra worked tonight. At least get something on the board. Giri, I think, has had a decent time. Good to see youngsters like Atul Samad coming through. Who could forget Rutul Chaudhary's 5 for the hat-trick? Only hat-trick of this series. But right now, 4 wins it for Punjab CC Amadora. They'll make that 3 as they scramble through for a single. Yeah, a few people coming back from the USA game, but I wouldn't park the car. I'd start the car, to use the famous words, because 3 to win now. And that will be it. Going, gone forever. And probably a no ball plus 6, 7 up to finish it off. And they'll end up doing this with a 4-pointer. In fact, they're going to win with 26 balls to spare. Takes us to a bit of an early finish. So, yeah, after a lot of drama, a lot of cricket happening at once, it all seems to have faded away at the same time. So, I want to say well done to Punjab CC Amadora. They'll finish in second. Whereas, of course, we know that they'll be top of the pops. And Lisbon Capitals will add a nervous wait, didn't they? But they do sneak in third place. So I'll be able to bring you the figures and the fixtures for tomorrow at some point. This is the tail in the second half of the match. It's a free hit that they won't be able to cash in because the game is done. Ravi Imran with 29 off just 13, 23 not out for Simranjit Singh. And Arshad was there with 19 of his own. They were pretty good with the extras, probably until the end. That was something that plagued Punjab CC Amadora a little bit. In fact, some of the teams tonight did struggle, particularly with the unusual bounce in this pitch. 1 wicket for Atul Samad, who I think continues to impress and develop as a fast bowler. But no one else really had the answers. Giri had a good top over, but he wasn't able to follow it up. Big thanks to everyone out there. Just confirming the fixtures tomorrow night. Now, it does start 15 minutes early. So it starts at 4:15 GMT. It's 5:15 here in Portugal and 6:15 Central Europe. It's 9:45 in India. Punjab CC Amadora are going to take on the Lisbon Capitals in the qualifier. Awaresh will be waiting for the winner of that game. There's the confirmation of the fixtures for tomorrow night. It's night 25. Finals night. I know some of you have had your advent calendars going every day, giving yourselves a little chocolate every night during the series. But yeah, that is the tale tomorrow night. I want to say congratulations to all of our American viewers in the chat. There's a few. I know Trips in here. It's a big moment, I'm sure, for cricket in the USA. Always a big moment for cricket in Europe as well. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe. If you haven't already, I know that a lot of people are doing that every day. We're over 400,000. Next stop, 500,000. Tell your family, tell your friends about ECN. Also, don't forget our social media at European Cricket and EuropeanCricket.com, the home of European Cricket. But for now, Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo. 50 matches into this series and just 2 remain. We'll have a new ECN trophy holder tomorrow night. Who will it be? Will it be the Swans to rule the roost, or will it be Punjab CC Amadora or Lisbon Capitals, who have held their place in the 3 after coming all the way from the wildcard spot? Find out tomorrow. Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo. Nish waiting for you in Cyprus tomorrow, 5 o'clock a.m. GMT, 7 o'clock in the morning in Central Europe, and 10:30 a.m. in India. But for now, from everyone here at the European Cricket Network and the European Cricket family, that's the end of another 7 long, hot games. The summer only just beginning. We'll see you tomorrow for more action from Portugal. For now, here's Hasta Mañana.